Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, the embodiment of being sensual and being a hoe. There's a dance that we have to learn, and I'm starting to realize that a lot of people don't know the difference because there's so much stigma and judgment within being empowered in your sensuality and sexuality, while there's that you can go to a certain point of just being a hoe. And there's okay with being a hoe if that's what you choose to be, as long as you know that that level of wanting to just give your body away to anybody, anytime, all the time, it's a stage. At least it should be. Again, these are my opinions. You do not have to take them on, but I'm going to explain why. When you're in a state of sensuality, you understand that you're tapping into the energy. You can embody the energy, but you don't become the energy. You understand? It's like an actor or actress. If they're doing one of these really dark, messed up documentary roles of a serial killer, the actor does not become a serial killer from acting as one. They're embodying the energy of that person who were able to create these or take out these acts, right? That's what we're trying to learn. Hopefully, the actor does not become a serial killer. So, in the same aspect of sensuality, I have seen a lot of young women and men, gay, straight, or bi, doesn't matter. They get into this phase of wanting to express their energy in, let's say, group sex. I am all for it if you agree to it, right? If you are not so high that you don't know what you're doing, so drunk that you don't know what you're doing, you're healthy, you know your STIs, you know that you don't have anything, you know you take care of yourself, go for it. Experience it, learn it. But if every day of your life you're waking up to be in an orgy, to me that says that you're now becoming the energy versus embodying. It's the same as when you eat something sweet that you really love. If you overly eat too many sweet things, what happens? We gain weight, acne, stress, diabetes. These are the things that come along with oversaturation. So it's the same thing in the world of sensuality. You can give away too much. Unfortunately, when you're in the sex world, in the male and female world, and you're trying to argue what a male does versus what a woman does, there's a lot of correlation that gets mixed up. And people are trying to express it from what they see and witness, which is true, but it doesn't mean that they have to judge that individual for being in that state of understanding themselves, right? So the example is like for men, they always say, well, men are hoes too. They can sleep around just as much and all this stuff. I agree. But the thing about most men that most people don't talk about is they've learned to hide it in a way. And I don't mean that's a good thing or bad thing. It's just part of a cultural understanding. You hide your freak card as a man. As a woman, you've been able to have that card to be open to be like however you want to express your freak energy, right? But then you get judged on it. So it's this double-edged sword that was created clearly through misogyny. And then there's the level of the distorted misogyny that has to come along with women and men who carry that energy and then act on it and say it's a lifestyle, which is toxic cheating on each other and having multiple partners that don't nobody know about, but you say you're in an open relationship, but really you're just out there on the hunt. Because again, there are healthy open relationships, and then there's people who just want everybody because they've learned, oh, I don't have to choose, I can have everything. Choosing someone when it comes to sensuality is not about being able to take from them without regard. It's being able to see that you can match their energy. That's what makes being a so-called hoe fun. When you meet someone who can match your energy, because it's like, this is hot. But then when you go back to reality, you're like, okay, this is not me all day, every day. So if they can tap into it and come back to the normal reality where they still respect you and can communicate with you and not just look at you as a sex object, then that's where you want to be. Unfortunately, most people, especially young kids, they see the exploitation of the physical form and physical acts and how to talk a certain way. Because I always tell people that if I meet someone and they're not actually trying to be sensual, but they're putting on an act and trying to look sexy, I'm like, you're reading a script. I'm like, what porno did you watch to get this from? I can tell instantly because it doesn't feel real. And so sensuality is more about having fun with your body, knowing that you're in a situation where you want to be looked at or you want to be admired, and you know your boundaries, and that's okay. I don't want to ever make anyone feel shamed about sex, but there is a level of knowing how do you want to present and represent yours. How do you want to represent? How do you want to respect? And how do you want to call in energy, period. That's what it's all about. And so there are some people where they're like, yeah, I want anonymous, raunchy, face in the pillow sex. Go for it. Just make sure that you're getting your STI checkups and you're being safe and that you're not putting yourself in a situation you can get hurt. If you want to go out there and be in group sex, same thing. Go for it. Just do it in a state of being that you're not saying, oh, I didn't know what I did, because now it becomes trauma, right? A lot of people take a lot of these moments that they call sexy, and it's sometimes traumatic for people. And because it's glorified as sexy, people want to reenact it. I am not one of those people who are going to yuck your yum, but if you're so convinced that you're supposed to replicate something that you watched, please go question why. Don't just go out into the everyday world and try to be it or do it. Question, why do you like it? Why does it tingle you? Why does it get you excited? These are normal questions to ask when it comes to sexuality and sensuality. But to just say, oh, the next girl did it or the next guy did it, why can't I? You do it, you put on the uniform, you put on the voice, you put on the act, you go out there and you perform the role, and then you get treated the way that role was meant to be treated, and you don't like it. And then you blame each other in this male versus female game, which doesn't make sense. It's either you know that you're playing the game of, I don't mind being a nasty, dirty slower, and you know that at any point in time you can tap out, and then you can go back to the world of modesty and whatever else you choose to be, as long as you're not judging those who are still doing it. Understand that sensuality is about expressing your confidence of your own body, right? Just how I just pulled myself up. It's like, I know I feel good about my body. I know that I can feel that energy pulsating through me. So I like to express it, being playful, being giddy, being cute. That does not always mean getting naked, giving away sex, or anything else. Now, if you want to do that, do that. But in every situation, there is duality. So you have to understand, am I dualistically on that border of being fun, freaky, nasty, or am I going too far into dark, dirty, treat me horrible because I need to be punished, right? There's so many attributes and aspects to the human mind and psyche, and then if you add emotions to it, it's going to get even more muddled. So pay attention to what energy you call in, and then do not go out there and blame the world because you're calling in that energy. Learn what costumes and games you play, and I'm not saying what people wear, they call in energy to be treated a certain way. What I'm saying is, if you put on a mindset that I'm going to go out here and I'm going to be the nastiest hoe, well, you're going to call in distorted mindsets who think that that is normal to treat you that way. That's all I'm saying. The same as if you say, I'm going to go out there and show my body off and be cute and don't nobody better touch me. You're going to put that energy out there, and you're going to call in the energy that respects that, right? People have gotten wise and understand, don't mess with them. They're not the one to mess with. So there is a point of understanding that what we embody is what we can become if we don't pay attention to how far we want to go into the game. So know the game. Don't be a lame. Love ya.